What's happening? Facebook. Mario Race back, elevate others, ba-bam. Another interesting coaching call. Something I want to share. The one thing that really came up over and over and over again. Things keep happening. And this individual kept blaming others. Like whatever went wrong was going to fix itself. Whatever goes wrong in your life is not going to fix itself. You have got to take responsibility. You have got to be the one to stop looking at your problems and focusing on your problems. You've got to focus on solutions. Solutions are the only things you should be focusing on. It's amazing how many people think that someone else is going to take responsibility for their life. And if you think about the amount of people, and look, you know, I'm not into politics. I hate talking about politics. Two things I don't talk about is politics and religion. You don't win. You know, the left and the right, it's not even worth talking about. But what I will say is that our country, even though we are a democracy, we've taught people to not be responsible for themselves because we give so much to those who don't want to go out, do the things that have to be done. And by giving so much to people, you stop their growth. Now, if you take responsibility, if you know that you are the one who has to come up with a solution for a problem, then you are taking control of your life. Let me give you an example. I like using this analogy. Let's assume your car is parked in the parking lot. You go out to dinner, you park your car, and after a nice dinner, you come out and you realize somebody hit your car and took off. Now, you can kick and scream. You can do whatever you want. Hey, Laura. Hey, Bill. You could do whatever you want. You could rant and rave. You could ruin your week. You could ruin your month, whatever it is. Reality. Here's reality again. Hey, Jules. Reality. And I want you to think about this. It's still your responsibility to call the cops and fill out a police report. It's still your responsibility to get that car to be fixed. First, you got to call the insurance company, let them know what happened. Hopefully they catch the guy. Lastly, you have to go and make sure that car is fixed. That's your responsibility. I know it sounds weird, but it's the way we react to the things that go wrong in our life. We react in a way like we feel like such a victim. You're not a victim. It's life. It's life. That's all it is. And if you take... So I use an example, had nothing to do with business. But this individual, he wanted somebody else to come along and really put his business on autopilot. So frustrated. Blaming Facebook ads, blaming the digital marketer, blaming his virtual assistant. That's all it is. You take responsibility. You have to make the change. Remember, no one's coming to save you, even in your business. Forget about your life, but in your business, the responsibility, the onus is on you. It is not on anybody else. You must take responsibility to make the change that is necessary. Hey, Amy, my lovely spirit, it is your responsibility. So as I'm talking to this individual and I'm trying to explain this to them, they're actually asking for my help when I am helping them. I'm helping them get their mind right to know that they must, hey, Amy, love you, honey. You've got to have that mindset where, look, here's what happens. There are successful people out there. Things happen in their life, but it's the way they react to it. They focus simply on the solution. They're not focusing on the problem. They're not waiting for someone to come along and say, hey, will you take responsibility for my life so that I can keep advancing and I can keep moving forward? The people who are stuck, the people who are not moving forward, the people who are not building the businesses, the people who are not living that life they want to, they are not taking responsibility. And once you start doing it and taking responsibility for your own life becomes a habit, and it truly does become a habit, that's when you start taking full control of your life. You cannot have control over your life if you're putting in the hands of other people. It's simple reality. I love it. I love it. Like, think of a manager. Big difference between a manager and a leader. A manager says, go. A leader says, let's go, with you the whole way. You want to know why? Because that leader wants you to know that it's not just it's everybody. Everybody is responsible for that team. So it's not just in an individual setting. As a team, you are all responsible for one another. But if you're not responsible for yourself, how can you help that team? How can you keep that team clicking? It was a breakthrough for this gentleman. Finally, we got to the point where I said, are you going to go out there and solve your problems? Are you going to take responsibility to fix what's wrong in your life, to fix what's wrong in your business? If you have a terrible VA, get a new one. If things aren't going right with Facebook ads, split test. I don't even know how to run a Facebook ad. I do have a virtual assistant. I don't, but I do know you got to go out there and split test. Not everything is going to be perfect. But if you do take responsibility, then you are becoming perfectly imperfect. And to me, that's the best individual out there. That's the strongest individual you could be. Those are the people who become better, greater. Nothing stops them because they know something comes their way. They automatically say, even if it's not their fault, that's my responsibility. The onus is on me. I must fix it. I must come up with the solution. My God, think how easy your life would be if you could just react in a way that you're not going to crawl up into a ball, cry and complain, rant and moan for weeks, and let your life and your business start to decelerate, start to decrease. And then your mindset, there goes your clarity, because all of a sudden there's the anxiety, there's the chaos. You're creating that, and you're allowing it to grow, and you're allowing it to manifest into something it does not have to manifest into. It truly does not. So please get yourself into the habit of taking control of your life, no matter what you are doing. I teach my kids this all the time. We talk about it all the time. I have one daughter on this live right now. She will tell you, her life is her responsibility. I will always be there for her, but if I'm not, take responsibility and focus on the solution. Don't sit there and dwell on the problem. Guys, again, it's reality. If you sit and dwell on the problem, what's going to be solved? If you sit and dwell on the problem, what are you going to achieve? Absolutely nothing. So let's focus on solutions. Let's focus on moving forward. Let's focus on advancing each other. Hey, Brian, how are you? Former Livingston Lancer. Let's focus on solutions. Let's stop complaining. Complaining? Do you realize what goes into your subconscious mind when you complain? That goes straight out to the universe. And what happens? You get more stuff to complain about. But if you trigger yourself to the point where you get that adaptation response to where something goes wrong in your life and you take responsibility for it and you're focusing on the solution, it's going to happen every time. It's habit, people. It's not just habits of what you do or routines. It's got to be a habit of the way you think. It's got to be the habit of the way you react to things that happen to you in life. Remember, life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. And if you understand it's happening for you, then you'll know that even the things that go wrong in your life are meant for a purpose. It's meant to make you better. But for the people who react in a negative way and keep focusing on that problem, they're going to have more problems and more problems and more problems. Who wants more problems by simply focusing on it and allowing that to consume you from the inside? Seriously. And then everything external in your life becomes worse because of what you have inside and what you have inside your mind. So I really wanted, this was very important for me to get across to you. I love when I jump off a coaching call and I'm able to share little tidbits. So do me a big favor. Do me a big favor. Sorry, a whole bunch of people walked over and I don't really want to allow them to disturb this live, but yeah, you know what? Make it happen. Just take responsibility and do what you have to do. I want you to look, I don't come on here to preach to you guys. I come on here to talk very realistically. And I want you to think about that. I just want you to think about it. Wow, what if I do just constantly take responsibility? What if I do simply focus on solutions and not problems? Then you're not thinking about problems. You're not bringing more problems into your life. In your own life, in your business, in your relationships, no matter what it is, focus on a solution and stop focusing on the problem. And I'm telling you right now, it is going to be a game changer. Simple as that. It's going to be a game changer. You're going to elevate yourself and you're going to elevate others. Ba-bam. Love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. We have a lot to talk about. I have a coaching call at 6 o'clock. It's going to be pretty epic because I already know what is holding this individual back and what is blocking him. We're going to get him clarity, we're going to get him focus, and we're going to get him momentum, and we're going to get him moving forward. Everybody keep moving forward. Love you. Bam. Elevate others, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great night, everyone.